I'm here at the Columbia Police Department right now. I'm just going to give you a look at what's kind of happening behind me here. And I remember it was hard to find parking here as these fields behind me were filled with athletes, but that's just not going to be the case this year. Now, another group of students is heading back to Columbia for their return to learn. That's Columbia College. It's opening its doors to students and faculty for class tomorrow. I literally just got here in the past 10 minutes and came down to see this condo on the Emerald Bay condo apartment complex here. I'm going to jump behind here and give you a look at what I'm seeing. They just put out some of the last flames on top of this condo right here that you're seeing. Each one of these 30 applications that I got my hands on through a sunshine request from the city explain to the county why those federal dollars will help the city continue to fight the COVID-19 pandemic. It was an absolutely gorgeous day in mid-Missouri, but some rain may be on its way. ABC 17 Storm Track forecaster Maddie Est is tracking it all for us now. And Maddie, this is good news for me. You may need to grab a jacket before heading out the door tonight. This is just like Groundhog's Day for them, he said. It's another multi-day system that we've seen several of this winter already. He said this is a tough winter for their crews. And Maddie, we are tracking some beautiful weather coming up, just with a little bit of rain, but I'll take that over the blazing heat that we've seen. You can wear your sleeves.
Yeah, you can break out the long sleeves.
Yes. It's always fun. They're actually right now at the intersection of Broadway and College Avenue, right behind you here. I'm going to give you a look right here on College and Broadway. And if you can see, actually right now, this just happened within the past minute. I was just going to bring this up. There was a fire truck coming down Broadway, and all of the protesters moved. And if you can take a look, if you can still hear me, I know it's pretty loud.
What are you doing?
I'm not doing. Don't touch me! Don't touch me! Don't touch me! Don't touch me!
Just roll over. Roll over. Roll over.
Right before this, you can hear officers point out Ohana Shea by her yellow shoes. Police say multiple commands were given to get out of the road before the 8 people were arrested for unlawful assembly and resisting or interfering with an arrest.
As long as the participants were on the sidewalk, we were very happy to allow them to exercise their rights.
You can see arrest happening from the sidewalk in this video. Protesters told me they were complying with police commands, but did lie in the street towards the end of the protest.
And we told them that it would only be 2 minutes. Officers just really attacked and charged people that were laying in the street. We got up and immediately went to the sidewalk. If, in fact,
the participants had have listened to the commanders, the officers that were on scene, this would not have resulted in anyone being arrested.
You're not finna touch me!
One Jefferson City local who was arrested told me they were walking back from laying down when a line of cops shoved her into a car.
Was like, you're hurting me, like that really hurts, you don't have to grab me so hard. And they were like, stop resisting. So I was like, I'm not resisting.
We understand that they have a right to protest. They have a message that they want to put out, but we also have a responsibility to the citizens.
It really just reunites that fire, and it also shows the world why we are out here.
Too much to grasp.
You all right over there?
I'm completely exhausted. I haven't slept in 29 hours now.
Exhaustion, devastation, and relief for Debbie Lawrence and Lolita Ponder.
Went in and woke her up, and of course, being the true Missourian, she said, oh, it's just a flash flood warning.
Fortunately, she convinced her to get down to the basement.
This hole, this is the bed where she would have been in.
She took me around and showed me their property.
But you can see my tables from the patio are up over there. Of course, you can see the huge tree that broke over here.
After the storm, she described it as something out of a movie.
Everybody's just walking around not knowing what to do and just crying. They've lost everything. That's exactly what Case Avenue was like last night.
This afternoon was a reunion. 2 neighbors reminisce about saving a woman's life.
So the neighbor and I ran down there. I busted in her door and we pulled her out to safety. I hear somebody yelling for help. I'm capable of helping. I'm going to go do it. You know, I don't even know the woman. Never met her before. We've only lived here for a month. But she needed help, and we went and helped her.
You're a hero in this situation.
I'm not a hero. I just got somebody out from a dangerous situation. Anybody would do it, wouldn't they?
We're fine.
I don't know.
Well,
That's not part of it, yeah.
for now, they're staying with some family while they pick up the pieces.
Long term, I don't know. It's just gonna play it day by day. That's all we can do right now.
One application shows the city racked up almost $61,000 in COVID-19 expenses from March 1st through August 5th, and the city plans to put in another application to cover more recent expenses. On top of that, the city is also asking for about $1.4 million for various departments. That covers a variety of requests. The mayor believes all are CARES Act eligible.
The city has to function so that everything else can within the city.
The requests range from protective equipment for first responders, making city buildings safe for staff and the public, and technology to help staff work remote. The biggest request comes from the Jefferson City Fire Department, wanting about $590,000.
Have to be able to provide that service, which is why the CARES funding is so critically important.
But the Cole County Commission still has to approve all of those requests. And right now, they have only set aside $1 million out of the nearly $9 million for all cities and communities in Cole County.
We want to help as many entities as we can. The whole idea of this CARE money is that you're helping the people of Cole County as best we can.
Presiding Commissioner Sam Bushman said he's not sure right now if all of those requests will qualify, but a private accounting agency is looking over each request.
Even if something is turned down at this time, they can always reapply later.
Just speechless almost. I'm very upset, trying to keep my composure with it, but I want to see justification be done with this.
John Garrison took me up his property to show me just how much of this plastic foam there is.
I hold you.
Oh, thanks. DNR has received 3 complaints so far.
I mean, it just goes on and on.
And told me it's currently investigating the company Kofer Enterprises. They're working with the company to make sure they are following environmental regulations.
We will work with them as much as possible because the ultimate goal is to clean up the environment and make sure that there's safety to the public and to our natural resources.
It just goes on and on.
In the meantime, Garrison moves some of his livestock, but continues to find dead fish and worries about other animals in the area.
Who wouldn't that make mad? What would you do if you had this on your property? What would you do?
DNR said it's hard to say what penalties could be in place for the company, as multiple programs are involved in the investigation, and all have their own repercussions. Now, Garrison is left waiting.
This has to be something done with this. And it seems like, they obviously don't care, or they would be down here to try to offer to clean it up or try to do something, and that's not the case.
We knew that the challenge for us was going to be that we were going to have to come up with a way of doing a hard copy or packets, something like that to continue the education.
Marys County R1 school district has about 460 students. 30% of those students don't have access to internet at home, and nearly half don't have access to the necessary technology. So packets and hard copies were the only option for remote learning. The superintendent said a lot of families simply can't afford access, as a large portion of their population qualifies for free and reduced lunches. And in their rural area, broadband is still limited.
I think it has opened the eyes to not only our community, but also people in government on what is needed, not only in larger cities, but also in the rural community to actually meet the needs of the kids out in the country here.
Governor Parson said Friday broadband access has been a priority of his administration.
Unfortunately, because of this virus, has shown how vulnerable we are in broadband across this state, and just trying to do the simple things to educate our kids.
And state education leaders agree, saying this highlights the inequality of education between urban and rural learning.
We need to address this issue because even when this crisis passes, I think we're going to see more and more use of virtual education, and this equity issue is a major challenge.